Hello class, I'm sorry that I can't be with you today. I'm on vacation for 2 weeks, but I will return on September 25th. Until that time, I thought since we were just getting started and most of the topics were review, it would be best if I pre-recorded this video lesson, and I will send along your homework in either an email format or through the Blackboard at St. Augustine's. All right, we're going to begin with lesson 4, which is a review of arithmetic. I'd like you to read this. It also includes the natural or the counting numbers. So the counting numbers are here because when you count, we don't start with 0. We start with 1, 1, 2, 3. The natural numbers includes the number 0. I'll let you read this about different positive, real, negative numbers. It's mostly vocabulary that you have read before. We will be working a lot with signed numbers. So this is a -7. The opposite of a negative is a positive. If you see no sign at all, then that number is a positive number. The number line includes all of the integers. So the integers are the positive and the negative counting numbers or natural numbers. So we have 0 in the middle, the positives go to the right and the negatives go to the left. And of course we have infinitely many decimals, fractions. Those are all called real numbers on the number line here. Let's just review real quick how we multiply and divide fractions. If we have a fraction, we do not need to have a common denominator to multiply them. We simply multiply the numerators and we get 28 and multiply the denominators and get 15. You can simplify this to 1 and 13 over 15, but really it's fine for algebra if you leave it in the improper form. When you divide two fractions, remember the rule is flip that guy. We're talking about the second fraction. Flip that guy and multiply. So here if we invert or flip, then we change to a multiplication, and again we multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators, and we end up with our fraction. If cancellation is possible, we definitely want to do that. So let's talk about cancellation. Any number on the top can be canceled with any number on the bottom. What does that mean? I recognize that both 30 and 3 can both be divided by 3. And so I, in fact, do that. I cross that out. I say 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 30 10. And now I check my 7 and my 9, which cannot be simplified. So now we multiply 7 times 10, which is 70, and 9 times 1, which is 9. Again, if you want to convert that to a mixed number, 9 goes into 77 times, that's 63, and you have 7 left over. If you have multiple fractions that you're multiplying, you can cancel here. This is lovely. You can cancel your 5s. They both become 1s. We can cancel the 3 and the 6. They're both divisible by 3. So we get a 1 and a 2. And unfortunately, 21 and 23, we'll look at the only thing we have is a 2 on the bottom with a 21. But this really simplifies our multiplication, and it also simplifies our simplification at the very end. So you have 1 times 1, which is 1 times 21. 1 times 21 is 21. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 23 is 46. If we have mixed numbers and we're multiplying, we do not multiply the 2 and the 5 and the fractions. That would give us the wrong answer. We first have to change this to an improper fraction. So it's going to be 2 times 2, which is 4, plus 1, which is 5, 5 over 2. 5 times 3, which is 15, plus 1 is 16, 16 over 3. So now we have our two fractions. Then we see if we can cancel, which we can with the 1 and the 8. And then we multiply and we get 40 over 3. If we're going to divide, still must first convert to an improper fraction. We do that by going 12 times 3, 36 plus 1 would be 37 over 3. 2 times 6 is 12 plus 1, 13 over 6. They did not write that here with a division, but now since we're dividing, we flip the 13 over 6 to make it 6 over 13 and multiply. Before we multiply, we can cancel. I think that you are all familiar with this, but it's always good to start out the year with some review. This simply means division. This means 3 1/3 divided by 2 1/5. I would write it like this. Change them both to improper. Again, this can be up here as a division. Flip that guy to 5 over 11 and multiply. And nothing can be canceled, right? It has to be something on the top and on the bottom. So nothing can be canceled, so we just multiply numerators, multiply denominators, and simplify if you like. The basic operations, please read this. You're going to have to know what add-ins are, what the difference is, the product, what does that mean, and then a review of some decimal numbers. When you add decimal numbers, you line up the decimal points. Same with subtracting. When you multiply, you do not line up the decimal places. You can stack 406, has 3 significant figures on the top. This only has 2, the 16, so we write the 406 over 16. You do your 2-digit multiplication, then you count 2 decimals there, 3 there for a total of 5, and then in your answer you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom, and there it goes. There's a division. Remember, before you divide, you have to move the decimal point over twice, so then move it over twice there, and then you go ahead and do your long division. We won't be doing too much of that. 4.1 talks about unit multipliers. I'll let you go ahead and read that. Conversions of length, either multiplying by 12 or dividing by 12 when you're changing feet to inches. If you've done Saxon math in the past, you've done a lot of these, and they have many examples. All right, well, that is it for lesson 4. Your homework is number 17 through 28, but like I said, I will be putting that in an email or on Blackboard. I know that some of you do not have the answer key, but I do expect you to correct the answers to the odd number problems, which are in the back of the book, back here, find your lesson. And for the even number problems, you could either borrow an answer key or ask a friend, or buy an answer key from someone, or in the last case scenario, we will check them when I get back. All right, thank you.